Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be talking about productivity hacks.
Yes.
And we are specifically looking at productivity hacks for women who are balancing
Right.
multiple roles. So I think that applies to just about everybody I know these days.
Pretty much.
And so we found a great article to kind of walk through and really get into the weeds of
Yeah.
how to make this work in our lives, because Lord knows we need all the help we can get.
Yes, we do.
So the article is called Productivity Hacks for Women Balancing Multiple Roles.
Love it.
And it's funny because we're sitting here trying to be productive while we're talking about productivity.
Exactly.
So very meta.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that really resonated with me in this article is that it starts off by talking about this feeling of overwhelm.
Right.
Like that is something that we all experience when you're juggling multiple roles, whether it's, work and family or, different projects or whatever it is. It's just like this sense of overwhelm and
Too much to do.
yeah. And too much to do, and everything feels important.
Right. And everything feels urgent.
Yes.
And that's where, we really need to get good at prioritizing, because that's the key.
And so the article talks about this Eisenhower Matrix.
Yeah.
I have heard this term before.
I love the Eisenhower Matrix.
I don't know that I've ever actually implemented it.
Okay, well, let's break it down.
Okay.
So basically, you categorize your tasks based on urgency and importance.
Okay.
So you've got your urgent and important box.
Got it.
And that's those things that are like, that work deadline that's tomorrow,
Right.
or a family emergency that's happening right now.
Yeah.
These need action, like right now.
Those are the things that are on fire that we have to put out.
Yes.
Okay. What's next?
Then you've got the important but not urgent.
Okay.
And that's where a lot of us get tripped up, because these are things that are important for our long-term goals, but they don't have that immediate deadline.
Right.
So we tend to put them off. But that's where, booking that doctor's appointment.
Oh, yeah.
Finally finishing that personal project.
That passion project that never gets done.
Exactly. Or, starting that new skill that you want to learn.
Right.
Those things, they matter,
They do.
but they don't have a deadline.
It's so easy to let those things slide.
Exactly. And this is where the article talks about how, particularly for women, things like self-care or personal development, they often fall into this category.
Right.
Because they feel important, but they don't feel urgent.
Yeah, they don't have a deadline.
Yeah. And we end up pushing them aside.
It's like we're constantly putting out fires.
Yes.
With those urgent things, but we never actually get to those things that could actually, really make a difference in our lives.
Move the needle.
Yeah. So how do we reconcile that? Like, how do we prioritize within those important categories?
The article talks about the 80-20 rule.
Oh, yeah, the Pareto principle.
Yes. Have you heard of that? Okay, so in this context, it basically means focus on the 20% of tasks that will give you 80% of the results.
Okay.
So it's about figuring out which activities have the biggest impact.
Okay, so it's not just doing less, it's doing the right things.
Exactly. It's about being strategic with your time and energy.
So, for someone like me, that might mean looking at my work projects and figuring out, which ones are really going to move the needle for my team, or even in my personal life, thinking about, which activities really bring me joy and energy, and prioritizing those.
Exactly. It's about getting the most bang for your buck.
I like that. Okay, so we've got to prioritize, but then the other thing that I think we all struggle with is this...
Multitasking.
Yes.
Myth of multitasking.
Because it's a myth.
It's a myth.
Like, I feel like I'm really good at multitasking.
We all think we are.
But I'm probably not.
We're not.
Yeah, and this article basically says multitasking is not our friend.
No, it's not.
And that it actually makes us less productive.
It does. Because our brains, they're not designed to focus on multiple complex tasks at the same time.
Right.
It's like...
It's like trying to cook dinner while also doing a workout.
Yeah.
And answering emails.
And then also,
folding laundry.
Folding laundry and helping your kids with their homework.
It's like you're moving, but nothing's actually getting done well.
Exactly. You're just scattered.
Yeah.
And that's where batching comes in.
Okay, batching.
Yes. So instead of constantly switching between tasks, you group similar activities together.
Okay. So instead of checking email every 5 minutes,
yes,
I would have dedicated email time.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then, you could do the same thing for phone calls, errands, housework.
Even personal stuff?
Yes. The article even suggests combining personal and professional tasks.
Oh, interesting.
Like maybe you're prepping meals for the week while you're on a work call.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or you're scheduling appointments during your lunch break.
Oh.
It's about maximizing those little pockets of time.
Okay, so you're saying batching is like getting dressed for a themed party.
Yes.
And multitasking is like
Changing outfits every 5 minutes.
changing outfits every 5 minutes? Oh my gosh, I love that visual.
It's exhausting for your brain.
Yeah, it really is.
When you batch, your brain can settle in, get into a groove.
So how do we actually create those batches without feeling like,
Yeah.
super restricted?
Well, one suggestion is to actually schedule them into your calendar.
Okay.
It might feel a little rigid at first,
Yeah.
but having those visual cues can be really helpful.
Okay.
And then the other thing is to be realistic.
Yeah.
You don't have to batch everything perfectly from the start.
Right.
Just start with 1 or 2 areas where you feel the most scattered
Okay.
and see how it goes.
So like maybe email.
I think
those notifications popping up all day long are really
Yeah, they're a killer.
a killer.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got prioritizing and batching, but I know you're itching to talk about.
Outsourcing and delegation.
Yes.
Because for someone like you with so much on your plate,
Mm-hmm.
getting help where you can is crucial.
But delegating is so hard,
I know.
especially when you feel like you're the only one who can do it right.
Right. But the article reframes delegation as a strategic move
Okay.
to free up your time and energy for the things that only you can do.
Okay.
So would you rather spend your precious time cleaning the bathroom
No.
or working on that project that could get you a promotion?
Definitely the promotion.
Right.
But how do you even start? Like, my family is not exactly lining up to take on more chores.
I hear you, but it's about clear communication.
Okay.
Explain why you're asking for help and how it benefits everyone.
Okay.
Maybe it's hiring a cleaning service or getting your groceries delivered or assigning age-appropriate chores to your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Even small acts of delegation can make a big difference.
I like that. And it kind of plays into that idea of teamwork.
Yeah.
And speaking of teamwork, another thing this article talks about is the power of saying no.
Oh, this one's huge.
It is huge.
Especially for women.
Especially for women.
Because we often feel this pressure.
Like we're supposed to say yes to everything.
To be everything to everyone.
Even when we're already stretched so thin.
Right. And the article reframes saying no as a tool for protecting your time and energy.
Okay.
It's about setting boundaries.
Yeah.
And prioritizing your well-being.
And that makes us more effective in all of our other roles.
Yeah, exactly. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Love that. But how do you actually say no?
Right.
Without feeling guilty? Or like you're letting people down?
One tip is to be direct and honest without over-explaining.
Okay.
So instead of launching into a list of excuses,
Right.
simply state that you're unable to take on the request.
Okay.
And if you feel comfortable, you can offer a brief explanation,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm already overloaded with projects,
Mm-hmm.
or I've committed to spending more time with my family.
Okay.
Something like that.
What if it's somebody you can't say no to?
Oh, yeah.
Like your boss
Yeah.
or a close family member?
That's where offering alternatives can be helpful.
Okay.
Maybe you can suggest someone else who might be a better fit for the task,
Mm-hmm.
or offer to help in a smaller way.
Okay.
It's about finding a compromise.
That makes sense. So it's not about being rude or dismissive.
No.
It's about being assertive
Right.
and respecting your own limits.
Exactly. And sometimes no is a complete sentence.
I love that. Okay. Challenge time for our listeners.
Okay.
What's one thing you could say no to this week?
Good one.
To reclaim some of your time and energy.
I like it.
It could be a social event,
Mm-hmm.
an extra task at work, or even saying no to that inner critic that says you're not doing enough.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
We've talked about prioritizing with the Eisenhower Matrix.
Yes.
Bashing like a well-oiled machine.
Love it.
And mastering the art of saying no.
The power of no.
But wait, there's more.
There is.
And this is where things get really fun.
Okay. I'm excited.
Let's talk about technology.
Yes.
And how we can use it to boost our productivity.
I love a good productivity app.
Me too.
So the article highlights several.
Okay.
For project management, there's Trello and Asana.
Oh, Trello's my favorite.
Yes, these tools are great for organizing tasks. Deadlines progress,
Mm-hmm.
For work and personal projects.
I use Trello for everything.
I do too.
It's a lifesaver.
And speaking of staying organized,
Yes.
Google Calendar.
I live by my Google Calendar.
Me too. It's essential for scheduling appointments, setting reminders.
Blocking out time.
Yes, blocking out time.
But sometimes, even with the best tools, we still lose track of time.
Right.
And that's where the article recommends Rescue Time.
Yes.
Tell me more about Rescue Time.
Okay, so Rescue Time is a tool that tracks how you spend your time on your devices.
Oh.
So it gives you detailed reports on which websites and apps you use the most,
Okay.
how much time you spend on different tasks, and even identifies potential time wasters.
Oh, wow. Like a little productivity coach.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like having a little spy
I like that.
watching your every move.
I'm going to check that out.
I think you'll find it really interesting.
But then what about those times when we have those brilliant ideas?
Yes.
And we need to capture them.
Right. For the article suggests Evernote or Notion.
Okay.
These are great for digital note-taking.
Oh, yeah. I use Evernote.
Yeah.
It's like my external brain.
Yes, you can jot down notes, create to-do lists, store articles.
Love it.
It's like a portable filing cabinet for your thoughts.
But speaking of things that often get lost in the shuffle, meal planning.
Yes, the eternal struggle.
How do we make that easier?
Well, the article suggests meal planning apps.
I've tried those before, and I always felt so restricted.
I know what you mean.
Like I was giving up my culinary freedom.
But the key is finding an app that aligns with your needs and preferences.
Okay.
Some of them allow for a lot of customization. You can choose recipes based on dietary restrictions,
Okay.
cuisine preferences, even the ingredients you already have on hand.
So it's not about just like blindly following a menu.
No, it's about finding a system that works for you.
Right. And I think that's a really important point about all of these tech tools.
Yes.
It's not about letting them rule our lives,
Big
about
no.
using them to support us.
Technology should empower us, not enslave us.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked about tech, but let's go beyond the apps for a moment.
Look at
Talk
that.
about some time management techniques.
I'm all for it.
Because sometimes I feel like time just slips away, and I'm like,
Right.
where did it go?
Especially when you're juggling multiple roles.
Yes.
The article highlights time blocking and the Pomodoro technique.
Okay, I've heard of both of those,
Okay.
but I'm not sure I'm using them correctly.
Okay, so let's start with time blocking.
Okay.
It's basically about pre-planning your day
Okay.
by assigning specific chunks of time to particular tasks.
Oh.
So instead of just letting your day unfold haphazardly,
Right.
you create a schedule
Okay.
and allocate dedicated blocks for work meetings,
Right.
errands, family time, even self-care.
So it's like proactively designing my day.
Exactly. You're taking control of your time.
I like that.
The key is to be realistic.
Yeah.
Don't try to cram too much in.
Right.
And schedule in breaks.
Okay.
And buffer time for unexpected interruptions.
So it's not about creating this like rigid schedule
No.
that I have to adhere to perfectly.
It's about having a roadmap
Okay.
to help you stay on track.
Okay. I can get behind that.
And a visual representation can be really helpful, whether you use a digital calendar, a planner, or even just a whiteboard.
Okay. I'm picturing my color-coded calendar.
I love it.
But what about when you really need to focus on a single task?
That's where the Pomodoro technique comes in.
Okay.
So the basic premise is you work on a task for 25 minutes,
Okay.
and you take a 5-minute break
Okay.
after 4 Pomodoros. You take a longer break of 15, 20 minutes.
Got it.
The idea is that these focused bursts with regular breaks help improve concentration and prevent mental fatigue.
So it's like interval training for your brain.
Exactly. And there's actually science behind it.
Okay.
Our brains, they're not wired to focus intensely for hours on end.
Makes sense.
So by working in shorter, more focused intervals,
Mm-hmm.
we can actually be more productive overall.
It's like we're not supposed to run a marathon without training first.
Right.
We need to build up our mental stamina.
Exactly. And the beauty of the Pomodoro technique is that it's adaptable.
Okay.
You can adjust the work and break intervals to suit your own preferences.
I like that.
So you can experiment and see what works best for you.
Okay. I'm inspired to give those a try.
Good.
Now, speaking of things that can really impact our productivity, the next topic in the article is decision fatigue.
Oh, yes. The bane of our existence.
I know. I feel this all the time.
It's that feeling of mental exhaustion from making too many decisions,
Yeah.
big or small.
From what to wear in the morning to what to have for lunch
Yeah.
to which task to tackle first.
It never ends.
It feels like our brains are just bombarded with choices.
And especially for women who are juggling multiple roles.
Yes.
You're constantly switching hats,
Yeah.
making decisions for yourself, your family, your work.
It's exhausting.
It really is.
It's like our decision-making muscles just get tired.
Yes.
Yeah. So how do we combat this?
Well, the article has some great tips.
Okay.
One is to create routines for repetitive tasks.
Okay.
So instead of agonizing over what to wear every morning,
Right.
you could create a capsule wardrobe
Oh,
or have a few go-to outfits that you know you feel good in.
I like that.
And it's not just about clothes.
Right.
You can apply this to any area of your life.
Okay.
Maybe you have a set breakfast routine
Yeah.
or a few favorite lunch options that you rotate through.
Good idea.
The idea is to automate those everyday choices.
Okay.
So you free up mental energy
Got it.
for the decisions that really matter.
Okay.
Another tip is to simplify your environment.
Okay.
This could mean decluttering your home,
Okay.
creating a more minimalist wardrobe,
Yeah.
or even just organizing your workspace.
So it's about creating a sense of order
Yes,
amidst the chaos.
exactly.
Love it.
And speaking of simplifying, the article also recommends automating decisions whenever possible.
Oh, how do we do that?
So this could be using meal planning apps,
Okay.
signing up for subscription services for things you use regularly,
Right.
or even just setting up automatic bill pay.
Okay.
The fewer decisions you have to make on a daily basis,
The better.
the more mental energy you'll have for the things that truly matter.
I love that I'm ready to declutter, automate, and simplify everything.
Yes.
But before we get too far down that rabbit hole,
Okay.
let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that often gets pushed to the bottom of the to-do list.
Self-care.
Self-care.
Yes,
This is so important
it is.
and so easy to neglect.
It really is, especially when you're busy.
Yeah, because it feels indulgent. It's like it's selfish.
Right. But the article reframes self-care as a necessity.
Okay.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Love that.
And that's especially true when you're constantly giving to others.
Okay, so it's not about adding more to our plates.
No.
It's about making sure that we're taking care of ourselves.
Yes.
So we can show up as our best selves.
Exactly.
So what are some of those key self-care practices?
Well, the article highlights a few.
Okay.
Let's start with the foundation of good health.
Sleep.
Sleep.
This is one I struggle with.
I know a lot of people do.
I'm a night owl, and I often sacrifice sleep to get things done.
I understand, but the truth is that getting enough sleep is crucial for everything.
I know, I'm definitely not at my best when I'm sleep deprived.
Right.
It's like my brain is running on fumes.
Yeah, you need that rest.
Okay, so sleep is important.
Very important.
What else?
Regular exercise.
Even if it's just like a 20-minute walk?
Yes. Even small amounts of movement can make a big difference.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be strenuous. Just find activities you enjoy.
Like dancing or yoga?
Exactly. Or just playing with your kids.
Right.
It all counts.
Okay, and what about those little moments of peace and quiet?
Oh, those are essential.
Like throughout the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
The article highlights the importance of taking breaks
Okay.
throughout the day, even if just for a few minutes.
Okay.
Step away from your work stretch, take a walk,
Mm-hmm.
do some deep breathing, or just sit in silence and clear your head.
It's like hitting the reset button.
Exactly. It gives your brain and body a chance to recharge.
And it makes you more productive in the long run.
Yes, when you come back to your work feeling refreshed,
Right.
you're able to focus better.
Okay, so self-care isn't about indulging ourselves.
No.
It's about strategically investing in our well-being
Exactly.
so we can be more effective in all areas of our lives.
It's about recognizing that you're worthy of care and attention.
I love that.
And taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's essential.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired. To make self-care a non-negotiable part of my routine.
I encourage you to do so.
What about you?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you have any self-care practices that you swear by?
I do. I'm a big believer in morning walks
Oh, nice.
and evening meditation.
I love that.
They help me to start and end my day
Yeah,
feeling grounded and centered.
that's awesome. So we've talked about prioritizing, batching,
Yes.
delegating,
Saying no
harnessing the power of technology,
and self-care.
and self-care. It feels like we've covered a lot of ground,
Well, yeah.
but I have a feeling we're just getting started.
We are just scratching the surface.
There's so much more to explore in this world of productivity.
so much more.
So stay tuned.
Yes.
We'll be right back
After the break.
with more insights and tips.
Can't wait. As we dig into these productivity strategies, it's amazing how interconnected they are.
Yeah.
It's not just about isolated tips. It's more like building a whole approach
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too.
to managing time and energy.
Like, it's all these pieces. Yes.
And we're starting to see the bigger picture.
Exactly. And I think that's what's great about this for you.
Yeah.
Juggling multiple roles, it's not about a perfect system. It's about what works for you,
Right.
your values.
How do I know it's working, though?
That's a good question.
Like, what does productivity even mean?
It's not just checking off that to-do list.
Right. Because there's always more.
Always more. It's about making progress on goals,
Okay.
big and small,
But in a sustainable way.
sustainable and matching what you care about.
So it's not just quantity.
And
It's
quality for sure.
quality. Yeah.
Making sure what you spend time on is meaningful,
Not just busy.
not just busy feeling fulfilled.
That's good.
Yeah.
But what about stuff we have to do
Oh, yeah.
that I don't enjoy?
The stuff that drains us.
Yeah. How do you stay productive there?
Reframing is helpful.
Okay.
See those tasks not as burdens, but as chances to learn or grow.
Like even the mundane stuff.
Even mundane has purposes. Laundry's not fun.
Right.
But it's caring for your family. Oh, okay.
Expense reports tedious, but keep the team healthy.
You find the why.
Find the why behind the what.
I like that. Any other strategies?
Add enjoyment in podcasts while folding laundry, music while cleaning.
Oh, I do that.
Makes it bearable.
What about when you're just blah, though?
We all have those days.
No motivation.
Sometimes best thing is to admit it.
Really?
Give yourself permission to rest.
Oh.
Step away from work.
Okay.
Break time. Do something you enjoy.
So like a pause button.
Pause button, recharge.
Gotcha.
And remember, productivity isn't a straight line.
Okay.
There'll be ups and downs.
Yes, some days are better than others.
Some days you're on fire. Others you coast. Be kind to yourself.
Listen to your body.
Exactly. That always on feeling is dangerous.
It is, for sure.
Leads to burnout.
Mm-hmm.
It's about rhythm for you.
Right.
Focus and rest. Both.
Balance.
Balance between pushing and grace.
That's hard.
It's different for everyone. So experiment.
That's been a theme I've noticed.
Rest.
It's all about customizing.
It is.
Not just following a rule.
Adapt to your life.
That's empowering.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It's taking charge
Yeah.
of your productivity, making it work for you.
So not one size fits all.
Nope. You're the architect.
I love that.
Perfect segue then
Okay.
to how you can make a plan based on what we've learned.
Oh, okay.
So personalized productivity plans.
Where do we start?
You've already begun,
Yeah.
diving into this, thinking about what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's ongoing. But let's turn insights into action.
Get practical.
Love that. First, your why. What matters most?
Okay.
Big goals, values, work, and personal leveling. The plan should support those,
Not distract.
not distract. It's easy to just be busy.
Oh, yeah. Busy for the sake of busy.
But if it's not moving you towards what matters,
Right.
it's just draining you.
So first is like, what am I even trying to do?
Exactly. Clarity of vision.
And what?
Then assess where you are now.
Okay.
Where's the time going? What drained you? What's working well?
That's where those tools come in.
Yeah. Exactly. Like rescue time or just tracking your time. See the patterns? Data's powerful.
Yeah.
But also your gut feeling matters.
Yeah.
What energizes you, what makes you resentful.
Pay attention to that.
Yes. Once you see your strengths, weaknesses, energy flows.
Then what?
Then the fun part, experiment up. Create a plan for you.
Not someone else's plan.
No way. This is unique to you.
So I've got I looked at how things are, tried some stuff,
Now build the structure that works for you.
planner, calendar app, whatever.
Yeah, whatever works. The key is you'll actually use it.
So I'm not forcing myself into a box.
No, it should fit your life.
And be flexible.
Right? Of course.
That's
Life changes, so the plan should too.
What about when things go wrong, though?
The inevitable setbacks.
Yeah.
Resilience and self-compassion are key.
Okay.
It's not about being perfect, just making progress.
I like that.
You'll get derailed, feel overwhelmed, mess up.
Happens to everyone.
It's human,
Yeah.
not a machine.
Right.
Especially for women,
Yeah.
So many roles, so much pressure. It's okay to have off days. Ask for help.
Yes. Adjust plans. Be kind to yourself.
That's a good reminder.
We're doing our best with what we've got.
As we wrap up then, any final thoughts?
Productivity is a tool, not the destination.
Okay.
Use it to support your goals, well-being, all that.
Not to run ourselves ragged.
Not at all. It's your own journey.
Finding what works for me.
Exactly. Making a life that's productive and fulfilling.
I love that I am so ready to put this into practice.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Likewise. And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
We hope this deep dive gave you some ideas.
Tools for that juggling act.
Because you are capable, you are resilient,
You've got this.
and you can create that life you want, both productive and fulfilling.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep shining.